Aloha, my name is Krista Lakshmi and I am a holistic wellness and business coach as well, Inner Alchemist, helping to heal and reset your body, mind, and spirit. Today, I want to go a little deeper into the topic of sage and saboteurs. And I was just having a very interesting experience also yesterday in continuation of my processes with the saboteurs and sage. And what I noticed is that when we are very stressed, what happens is our saboteurs are in full mode and full gear. They are just like getting all the fuel they need. And then when you are in the same room with someone else who is also stressed and also kind of frustrated, what happens is it's almost like two people in this game actually almost like disappear, and our saboteurs are taking over the show. And the person who is actually there, whose saboteurs they are, has not much to say because now the saboteurs are actually leading the game and taking the lead. So in that case, if you're not conscious and you're not intercepting with SAGE, and SAGE is five powers: empathy, explore, innovation, navigate, or activate, then it can really influence your relationships in a negative way. And if you're not taking care of it, like one time, second time, third time, if it compounds over time, what happens is it may even, break people up. So that's pretty crazy, right? So this is the inner stuff working on in you. And if you're not solving, if you're not taking it apart right there and then, it will be thrown into your garbage and then it will just continue like that over and over again, right? So one of the things you can do is basically start to understand what those saboteurs are and how to start to work with them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually share my screen. First of all, show you a little possibility how you can actually join my event on the 10th of July. Uh, if you want to see it later, I'll probably still have this as a landing page and I put the video connected here. But you can register here to see the 10 saboteurs. So I can put just my name in, my email in, and then submit. So this is the way how you register for the event. And this is how what you can do here. So we have 3 steps before the event. So first, saboteur assessment instructions. So this is a test which you can start to take. It has questions. When you start here, it takes like 5 to 7 minutes. And it asks you, to click here, what's the version of your answer. And then as you get to the end, it sends you the email. It is asking actually a code. You have to put the code in, and then it will send you the assessment in full. So this is the first one. And then the second one is to figure out your polarities PQ assessment. So here is another test, another maybe 5, 7 minutes. So is the score, and then you start the same way. So you go through the motion here as well. And the third one is a YouTube video with Shirsha Chamin, who is behind Positive Intelligence, Know Your Inner Saboteurs. So when you click here, it goes directly to the video, and you can watch that in detail too. So this doesn't take long. I think it's like around 10 minutes. So you can do that as well, and you will be prepared. So preparation is half of the win. So after you have done all of these things, you will have, there is also a link how you can access the class with the Zoom. So very, very easy. Why these tasks are very important is because I'm going to show you what I would like to do during the event. is to see a little bit of your report. So let me share my screen again. And you will get an email saying, okay, this is your report. And then you click here and then view scores. And this is what you get. So I would like you to come prepared to the call. Take a screenshot of this page here, because this will give a really good overview where in your life you are, what the focus is, and so on. So this is actually the first time where all of the numbers are kind of like different. Many times you may have exactly the same number for three different ones. So they change over time. And as more you work with it, it will get less and less. But obviously, I still have the four first ones kind of the same, which have been for a while. So continuous process. But now, as you put explore here, it goes through now each one, giving you an idea. Okay, hyperachiever. Okay, so this is 9.4. What's the characteristics? What are the thoughts? And what are the feelings? What are the justification lies? And what's the impact on self and others? And then also original survival function. What I would recommend, because they don't offer a PDF version, is to copy each one, because it goes one by one, and then you go next. So, and then you can get a long PDF. You can make your own PDF out of those. And I would recommend to print it out and start to work with that one by one. And I guarantee you, one of the things what happens is that you will start to notice in your everyday life which one is leading. And yesterday we had a talk with my husband, and I realized which of the two of the main saboteurs were leading. So this one actually doesn't have the judge in here, because judge is like basically a conductor, the whole saboteur choir, so to say. But judge can also be a very, very bad, influence. And I realized, like, yeah. And for example, I know my stickler is copy based from my grandmother, who was a stickler, who was, very strict, very rigid with many things. So there is a work for me to do to go in and start to also work through those layers. So now, if you have no idea what the saboteurs are, so Shirshad Shamin came up with this 9 saboteurs plus the judge. So I'll very shortly go through these 9 here, so you kind of get an idea. And then at the event, we can go a little bit deeper. And also, as I have examples, hopefully someone will come prepared. I can explain also the assessment, how that looks and why. So we have controller here. So controller saboteur is anxiety-based need to take charge and control situations and people's actions to one's own will. So controller is not trusting. It's just has to have the control, whatever the situation is. So, and it makes sometimes very difficult situations, Stickler, perfectionism and the need for order and organization taken too far. That's really extreme version of it, and it never is good, because you'll always compare yourself and what you see or what you want to do a certain way. So avoider loses self in comforting routines and habits, procrastinates on unpleasant tasks. So avoider is such a pain, many times I was like, what the heck it is? Like, why is it like I'm avoiding things and pushing them to the last moment and so on? And then when I sat down, I sat down with my avoider and asked, like, what the heck is going on? My avoider said, like, the problem, Crystal, is that you're not taking proper breaks or, moments. You always, like, busy. And so I have to create extra holidays in between so that you would have at least that moment of a break because you're not taking like proper break days and so on. So I'm taking care of your well-being here. So I had to sit down and it's like, okay, that's good, but that's not working for me. So, okay, so what do we need to change? I need to put that like, breathing day into my calendar. And since I did it, things really changed. So hyperachiever, dependent on constant performance and achievement for self-respect and self-validation. So over here, this is always like, I will feel better, I will be happier, I'll be more successful if I get that next thing. But it can never be content just being content. It always needs that something. And that self-respect and self-validation is very strong. You can see it sometimes when you're listening to some podcasters. Um, when you have someone who doesn't care about themselves and is not really, led by hyperachiever and saboteur, they just like chill. They're really genuinely interested in like who is talking and what. And then when you have the other one who is guided by the high achiever, it's all about his own thing. What has he done? He's like kind of looking for self-validation. So it's a very, very different game. And you feel it instantly. Then we have pleaser. Indirectly tries to gain acceptance and affection by helping, pleasing, rescuing, or flattering others. This is very bad, especially for people who come from families where you have had addiction, whatever ways, alcohol, substance, medications, whatever. So this is something I recently really kind of took into the focus and kind of like, okay, I stopped rescuing, stop pleasing, like let everyone take responsibility for their part. So very, very hard to do on your own, but possible. Persistent, extreme focus, eternal feelings, particularly painful ones, victim. So victim is another one. Very, very hard. Always like, why is this happening to me? Why did they do? Why don't they like me? Questions like that are the questions for victim. Then we have restless, constantly in search of greater excitement in the next activity or constant busyness. So all over the place, very hard to, get things like going in like slow mode, always like wanting that next shiny object thing. And that one is also a little hard to kind of handle, but once you start, you observe, okay, this is my restless, okay, so, and then you turn into the sage mode and start to intercept it. So hypervigilant, continuous intense anxiety about dangers and what could go wrong. So that's a good example yesterday when I was supposed to have my meeting about the business mindset. And even though I prepared everything pretty well, I didn't prepare my computer well. So my computer just acted up. And because of that, and another reason also we had to postpone. So, and then the hypervigilant was like, see, I told you, you are a failure. You're like, I knew this would happen. And then, of course, the victim joins in. So, and then hyper rational, intense and exclusive focus on the rational processing of everything, including relationships. That's like crazy, crazy. I've met some of the people. Mine is not too crazy, but yeah, some people who like they avoid relationship, they avoid like all kinds of like you know emotions, especially. So these are the 9. And then judge is, of course, the one who is judging everything and everyone. And the judge that knows better is the, perfect whoever. So So that way, it's really good to start to observe them, and then start to also with the first sage activity and sage power. What those sage powers are, you have to show up to my event on the 10th of July at 12 p.m. EST and do those 3 steps in the registration link, which I put below this video here. And let me know how is your situation with saboteurs. After you do the test, you could even like maybe tell me what your first 3 are. And then what else would you like to know about mental fitness and how to handle these inner beings who we think that maybe don't really matter, but who actually can really mess our lives up. And I was really observing my communication yesterday with my husband. We were really stressed, both of us. And there are very, very many other things also kind of playing in at the moment. So I was like, wow, all of these things like compounding on top of each other, plus like kind of clustering together. And then, of course, the communication wasn't very good. And the saboteurs are always very rough language kind of type of beings. Sage is soft, very conscious, harmonic, takes the time. And saboteurs are like all over the place and like kind of boom bang, like don't really think. And then all kinds of like hells comes loose. And the thing is, when you are in a relationship and when you're not conscious, these things may clash one time, second time, third time, and then they like kind of pile up on each other. And that can really break your relationship in the end because you're not like talking through it and you're not really aware of these sabotaging elements in you, ruining your relationship or your communication. Or also many times it's just simply expressing your needs or expressing your fears and the other person not being there for you the way maybe you are expecting. So very, very important. Open communication, conscious observation of your, patterns and so on. And that's why also sometimes coaching is really a good thing to do, because when you are trying to change something where you have been for maybe not even a year or 2, but several decades, it's very hard to change that from that same consciousness. It's very good to have someone come in and actually change it a little bit different like that. So help you to change it, because it's not that person doing that, it's actually you with the guidance of that person. So I would say every business owner who is having a business is connected to their business mindset, whether they are aware of it or not. Even one of my other coaches who is at 9 million now said like number one thing he notices is that people have so much mindset work to do to get to that next level. So I hope this was inspiring, gave you some value, some ideas. Please do the tests and the assessment, watch the video. Once you have done those, you can come and enjoy the beautiful event, which is actually happening inside of my other coach, Bruno Morris's group. So you can also see how he's doing things and what a beautiful, amazing community this is. So this is how it is. Let's go create. So aloha and see you next Wednesday. If you watch this later, please find the links below anyways. And if this was a value of you for you, please share it with as many as you can and always subscribe. So lots of aloha. See you soon. Mahalo.